Someone that knows all about how America's military adventures have gone astray is Jarome Bell, retired Navy Chief Petty Officer and General Flynn endorsed America First U.S. congressional candidate. He joins us now. Chief Bell, thank you for your service, and thank you so much for being here.
Stu, thanks for having me. Hey, first of all, Ilhan Omar should never be in Congress of the United States. She's only concerned about Muslims from Afghanistan. What about these American citizens that she's supposed to represent? She's the most disrespectful refugee ever in America. She needs to be expelled from Congress immediately. But I'm going to take that a step further. Any Congress representative that has dual citizenship to any other country, their citizenship, they need to be expelled too, because their citizenship should be only the allegiance to the United States. Stu, this entire debacle in Afghanistan was done on purpose. And those people in Biden's cabinet are not that stupid. But what they are, though, they're neocons, warmongers, and military industrial complex stockholders. They need war to make money, Stu. We were not at war through Trump's 4 years. He cost them billions of dollars. So how do they get Americans to buy off on going back to war and sending our men and women back into combat to risk their lives? They create crises that piss off Americans, and the best way to do that is how? They sacrifice Americans, even though they knew it was coming well in advance, Stu. All of these events sacrificed Americans. Let me start. Pearl Harbor, we knew about in advance. Vietnam, Gulf of Tonkin, false flag. 9/11, they knew about 9/11 so far in advance that 0 Israelis went to work that day. None died. But now we're back here in Afghanistan, and they're sacrificing Americans in Afghanistan, and Americans are pissed off. We got ISIS-K, another CIA boogeyman. And so you heard Joe Biden say it in his last news conference. Okay, Stu, the Biden admin and cabinet are complicit in the murder of 13 U.S. servicemen and women and hundreds of Afghans. They even provided the Taliban with names of Americans and Afghan allies to evacuate. They need to go to prison. President George Washington warned us about getting involved in foreign entanglements, and President Eisenhower warned us about the military-industrial complex. And Stu, this is a travesty, and they are going to try to take us back to war because this is what they need. They understand that, that the American people, we love America and we love our American citizens. And the biggest thing that we come together on is when Americans die, and they understand this. And I believe, Stu, it was done on purpose.
Gosh, I agree. You are so right about upsetting Americans to the point where they support a war that they know nothing about, that we have no business being involved with, and then this nation-building phenomenon. Quick question here. Are you concerned that some of these higher-ups, the chair of the Joint Chiefs, higher-ups military command, are not talking resignation? Nobody's calling for the resignation. Why is nobody stepping down over this? I mean, this is the most unprecedented disaster we've ever seen in recent military history.
I'm very concerned, and I'm very concerned that the RNC or some of these Republicans are not calling for resignations across the board, Stu. General Milley should have to go. You got Blinken should have to go. Anybody at the State Department that's calling these shots should have to go. Biden definitely will have to go. This entire admin is an embarrassment on the world stage to the American people, and I'm astounded that none of these people are being called, that the resignation for these people are not being called for, because they botched this. And they always go back to President Trump. It was President Trump's plan. Well, you know what? President Trump's plan was laid out with conditions to the Afghan Taliban or whatever. And basically President Trump told them, if you don't do these, then we'll stay here and we'll continue to kill you. But President Trump's plan was to get the American citizens out first. Okay. That was number one. That has to be number one. Before we even pull out any military equipment or any military personnel, we have to get out the American citizens. And Stu, they're leaving American citizens behind enemy lines. And they're trying to say, if you notice in their talking points, they try to say, if those that want to leave, they started referencing that. We're going to get out those that want to leave. Like any Americans really want to stay in Afghanistan. All Americans want to leave Afghanistan, and they're going to leave thousands of them behind, Stu. And I believe they need to be brought up on war crimes and arrested and jailed.
Chief Bell, 27-year veteran of the U.S. Navy, now running for Congress, doing the most patriotic thing I think that you can do, America First candidate. You're endorsed by General Flynn. Virginia needs you. The United States needs you. That's one of the key districts in next year's election, voted for Donald Trump in 2016, stolen by Biden in 2020. And that's the kind of district that we need to win back to reclaim our country, in my opinion. And we wish you the best of luck. God is with you. You don't need luck. Jarome Bell, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Stu. Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.